Good morning. My name is Holden Sisko. It is my honor to bring you this morning's live show. Well, here we are, Friday, August 20th, just a few short days before we embark on the 2021-2022 school year. As you can imagine, this involves much more than simply flipping a switch. It's a team endeavor. Prior to this morning and throughout the summer, CUSD staff have been hard at work preparing our schools for the upcoming year. This past week, our photojournalists discovered a flurry of activity. The grounds crews have been busy landscaping our fields while working with contractors to trim the trees. The maintenance crews are tidying up walkways. Custodians have been hard at work preparing classrooms. Brand new Chromebooks are being unboxed. Construction crews continue to modernize our facilities as they work hard to upgrade elementary school campuses. Athletic programs begin their fall seasons as students return to school for tryouts and practices. School kitchens are prepared for the new school year. Computer techs, health techs, library techs, office staff, and many more are prepping for the year ahead. Teachers, support staff, and administrators work hard as they anticipate the return of students to their campuses. And on that first day of school, custodians will raise the flags early in the morning, or shortly thereafter, the voices of eager students will resonate across our campuses. It takes a team to provide each and every student an exceptional education in an inspiring environment. Welcome back. The show starts right now.
Carlsbad Unified staff, welcome to the 21-22 school year. I'm Ben Churchill, your proud superintendent.
And my name's Robert Nye, the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction.
I am super excited to get this school year started. Now, to tell the truth, I'd much prefer if we were together today, but our top priority has to be keeping our staff and students safe so that we can focus on in-person, in-the-classroom instruction all year long. We're very thankful for the help and support of the team here at CHS-TV. In fact, there are 18 students and staff members here this morning giving up their morning to support our broadcast. We could not be more thankful for the team here. Thanks, CHS-TV. Today, I'd like to highlight a few areas of priority as we think about the new school year. The first, most important core part of our mission has to be academic growth and development of our students. While there's been a lot of talk about learning loss this year, I think that's the wrong approach. I know that there are gaps, and we're certainly going to work to fill them. But our students are positive, they're creative, they're resilient. And I know if we set the bar high and challenge them, they can achieve anything. I think we should talk about acceleration of learning as much as anything else this year. In addition to academics, we must also have an intentional focus on mental and emotional health and wellness. And that applies to our staff as well. We have to take care of ourselves and each other in order to support our students this year. Relationships and connectedness are so important. Globally, nationally, and even locally, there are many issues which can divide us. But I think if we look hard enough, we can find just as many examples of things that unify us. And that has to be our priority this year. We love our kids. We love our schools. We love our community. And we have a shared vision for providing every student an extraordinary education here in our inspiring environments. If we focus on that shared vision, I know we can accomplish anything. Now, based on the shared vision, I hope that we can all agree to model kindness and respect. We cannot tolerate bullying or harassment of others. Look, we all have very strong feelings about many things. Some of us may choose to wear masks outside. Others of us may choose not to get vaccinated. Regardless of our strong feelings on this topic, we cannot tolerate bullying or harassment. We have extremely high expectations for the behavior of our students. Please join me in having equally high expectations for the behavior of ourselves and our adults in our school community. Now, as we talk about academic growth, it's important to point out the direct connection between learning and social and emotional health and wellness. We're going to explore that in the following video. It was produced a couple of years ago before the pandemic, but I do believe that it ties in very well with our themes for the day.
Science of Learning and Development Initiative came together to answer a question. What science should we pay attention to in order to understand how learning happens?
Have a good day.
The science of learning and development is really an attempt to synthesize a huge body of knowledge that's accumulated over many, many years from the learning sciences, from psychology and anthropology and brain science, and put all of that together and understand how people, in fact, develop, and what else, and how they learn.
There are a few core principles that define all of human development. The first is malleability, the unique property of the brain to change in response to relationships and experiences. Neural tissue is the most susceptible to change of any tissue in the human body. When children are born, their brains are not fully developed. The development of the brain actually continues into young adulthood. It is relationships and experiences that drive the development of the brain. If children have the experience of adversity, they will have uneven development of foundational skills, like self-regulation, relationship skills, that are prerequisites for more complex skills, like perseverance and self-direction. These are the children who are at risk to fall further and further behind. But what's most interesting is that a child can become a productive and engaged learner from any developmental starting point as long as we intentionally build those skills.
Turn to your table group and discuss this. Come up with a statement.
When we're able to combine social, emotional, affective, and cognitive development together, we are creating many, many more interconnections in the developing brain that enable children to accelerate learning and development.
We got this, guys! We got this!
As educators, we have an extraordinary opportunity to shape the developing brains of children and to create that kind of stimulus that drives the integration of the brain.
Life isn't all about going at it alone. We're up there to support you when you don't necessarily have the skills or tools that you need.
The science of learning and development tells us that school needs to organize for strong relationships.
You look pretty, Miss Turner.
Thank you, baby.
When a strong relationship exists with a teacher, with a mentor, with an advisor, with a school administrator, it actually can reverse the effects of adverse experiences. Children are amazingly resilient if they get that opportunity for attachment, for comfort, and for problem solving with a caring adult. If we walk into a classroom that's really informed by these principles, we'll see kids actively engaged in their learning.
What is this graph telling us?
They will be using critical thinking and problem solving. They will be putting ideas into action.
This one is much longer than the other one you were using.
They will have lots of tools and manipulatives that they can work with to help them understand the ideas. And as they undertake these tasks, they're building both the social and emotional foundation, and they're also building cognitive abilities.
Any volunteers? Go up and do a priority list.
These are all skills that can be taught. These are as important as learning your ABCs and your arithmetic facts.
It's 80, so it has to be under.
Nice.
And so it's important to understand that even though somebody says something you might disagree with, everybody's contributing to this shared dialogue in this safe space. Please write down the DLT today. The DLT is I can decide.
Today, we have a very big task in front of us, but it is a very positive and optimistic task.
Good morning, friends.
Because we now have a knowledge of how children become learners and the opportunity to create an education system that's informed by a knowledge of the developing brain.
So that's collaboration and compassion. Yeah.
In addition to focusing on student academic growth, social emotional learning, and mental health, we also have several areas of strategic planning currently underway. There are 3 strategic plans that we'll be presenting to our board and our community in the coming months. The first is our 3-year technology plan. We were able, under the leadership of Director Joe Hartman, to present a draft of that plan to our board this summer, and we'll come back in September with an update to that plan. The second plan is a K-12 career pathways strategic plan, which we're very excited about, and we expect to have that to share with our board in October. The third plan is our DE&I, or Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion strategic plan. We've been working on this for some time now, and we've engaged in activities for all staff over the last few years. It will continue to be an area of emphasis this year, and we expect to have a 3-year plan to present to our board in January. Now, while I'm excited about all of our strategic plans, it's the third one, the DE&I, or Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion plan, that I'm particularly excited about. Sometimes folks will ask me, why the emphasis on diversity, equity, and inclusion? For me, it's simple. There's really 2 goals that I think we need to get after. Number 1, we need to ensure that our classrooms are warm and welcoming spaces for every student. And number 2, we need to get after some of the persistent access and achievement gaps that we've seen over time. I do believe that an emphasis on diversity, equity, and inclusion can help us achieve these goals. Regardless of who you are, regardless of what you look like, where you come from, the language you speak, the needs you have, or the people you love, you deserve to feel welcomed in our classrooms, and you deserve to receive a world-class education and get the same opportunities as everyone else. So I hope you join me in continuing this really important work this year. In Carlsbad, we are known for the hashtag kindness matters. Just as there's science behind the social and emotional learning and connections to academic growth, there's also science behind kindness, which we'll explore in this video.
Sometimes it's easy to feel like the world's getting harder. But if we look closer, on the news, on the web, on the street, we're anything but unkind. Every day, we hear new stories of people trying to make the world a better place. And together, we can make the world that little bit kinder for all of us. It all starts with just one person, you. The thing about kindness is that it's just about the only thing in the world that doubles when you share it. And it's a fact, backed by science. Studies have shown that if you perform just one random act of kindness a day, you'll not only reduce your stress, anxiety, and depression, but your body is flooded with the same hormones that make you and the person you've helped calmer, healthier, and happier. Serotonin, which heals your wounds, helps you relax and makes you feel good. Endorphins, which reduce pain. And oxytocin, which reduces blood pressure and makes you feel more loving and loved. You'll both be more energized, feel less aches and pains, more confident, and could even live longer. And if other people see you helping someone else, they'll be filled with those same feel-good hormones, meaning they're significantly more likely to pay it forward. Like taking that extra moment to hold the elevator for someone, spotting a coffee for a stranger who's just a few cents short, giving your neighbor a hand with their groceries, even just smiling and meaning it. It doesn't take much, but it can make a huge difference for everyone. Those people you've helped will help other people, and those other people will help even more people. And those random acts of kindness can start a chain reaction that can spread across an entire community, a city, a country, and with enough of us, the world. Now, isn't that the world we all want? And it all starts with one.
All right. Yesterday I sent out a survey, feedback form using the Thought Exchange platform, and asked all staff to weigh in on a couple of really important questions that will help us as we support you moving forward. I did ask that it be completed yesterday, and after receiving some feedback, I know that there were those of you who were not able to get to it. So we're keeping the feedback forms open through next Tuesday. We do hope that everyone will take a moment to weigh in on these two questions. Number one, what are you most excited about? And number two, what are you most concerned about this school year? Now, we were able to pull down some initial results. Several hundred of you did fill out the feedback forms, and I think it's really helpful to see where the general sentiments of our staff are today. So the word cloud here picks out some of the words that we found in the first question. What are you excited about this school year? And it's clear what folks are excited about. Building relationships, connections, working together, community. I'm thrilled to see that the things I'm looking forward to are also the things that our staff, classified, certificated, and leadership, are excited about. Now, when it comes to our concerns, fortunately, there are no real surprises here. Mental health is one of the top concerns of our staff, both for staff and for students. We're worried about physical health. We're worried about quarantine. We're worried about the possibility of returning to teaching online. And we're worried about having enough support for all of our students and staff. Fortunately, these are the areas in which our district team has been focused this summer, and we'll continue to provide more information moving forward about our attempts and hopefully successes in meeting these challenges. Over the last 18 months, we've learned so much about maximizing opportunities to keep kids and adults safe. So you'll see here that we are continuing to implement layered strategies of virus mitigation. The first one here is new. Vaccination is required now in the state of California for all staff, or if you're not vaccinated, submit to weekly testing. That encompasses subs, coaches, and volunteers, as well as our regular staff. Staying home when sick, symptom screening, temperature screening daily, and going to get a COVID test if you have any symptoms are all extremely important. Contact tracing and quarantine when necessary. We work with the county public health officials to determine when quarantine is necessary. We are fortunate to have a new tool in our tool belts in that public health will allow, in some circumstances, students to remain in school if they were a close contact in school and there was universal masking in place. So we're excited about the opportunity to not have to quarantine as many students this year. Other strategies include facial coverings indoors for everyone. They are optional outside, of course. Hand washing, hand sanitizing, reducing class size where possible, especially at the elementary level. We're continuing cleaning and disinfecting, sanitizing, increased ventilation. MERV 13 filters, as you know, have been installed in all of our classrooms, HEPA air filtration systems as well. So the layered approach, we do believe, gives us the best opportunity to keep students and staff safe and learning in our classrooms. Now, I mentioned vaccination earlier. Here in North Coastal San Diego County, per the data publicized last week, we're at about a 54% vaccination rate for teenagers, ages 12 through 17. We'd like to see that increase, so we're holding 2 voluntary COVID-19 vaccination clinics here at Carlsbad High School on September 7th and 28th. These are walk-up clinics. If you are under the age of 18, you must have a parental or guardian form that says you can get vaccinated, and we've got all that information on our website. We are so fortunate to have the support of many community organizations. We could not be more thankful for our PTAs and PTSAs. We work closely with the Carlsbad Chamber of Commerce. We work closely with our city council and other elected officials. And we are so excited about the support of the Carlsbad Educational Foundation. They do so much for us. Now we're going to hear a short message from their CEO, Laura Pitts.
Welcome back, teachers and staff. My name is Laura Pitts. I'm the CEO at Carlsbad Educational Foundation. We are excited for the year ahead. We are here to help you, and this is how we do it. To start, we've committed over $1 million in grants for this year alone. Some address new needs. Hear what teacher Jessica Allen has to say about a first-time class called Instrumental Music.
The point of this class is to allow students who have never done music before to have a chance to do music later in life. So a lot of students feel like, well, if I haven't done it in middle school or elementary school, I can't be in a music class in high school. And the classes that we offer, rightfully so, students feel that way. They're very high achieving classes for band and orchestra and choir and dance. And, so this class is meant to bring in those students who felt like they couldn't but wanted to.
We're also very excited to welcome back programs your students love. Teacher Aaron Satilli shares more.
Hi everyone, my name is Aaron Satilli and I get to teach science and STEM electives at Calaveras Hills Middle School. And I am so grateful for the support of the Carlsbad Educational Foundation. Because of the Science Supercharge grant, I can dream and develop and design and implement the types of hands-on learning experiences that I know inspires my students and engages them and helps them excel. I'm also grateful for the support of Carlsbad Educational Foundation of our STEM elective pathways. Students can take deep dives into the biomedical sciences, engineering pathways, computer sciences with the support of the Carlsbad Educational Foundation. And they also support our Science Olympiad program, which is an amazing opportunity for students to mentor and collaborate with local scientists and compete in a variety of science events from astronomy to zoology. Carlsbad Educational Foundation does a wonderful job in supporting STEM education in our CUSD schools.
We're also thrilled about other programs we operate for students, like Kids Care, summer camps, robotics, and more. All proceeds from these programs go directly back to the district and your school. And our partnerships with your PTA and local businesses help us elevate your important work. We love what you do, and we love what we do together. You inspire us. Have a great first day.
Thank you to our partners at CEF. Now, we know that this year there are going to be twists and turns. In order for us to be successful, I believe that we need to focus on three things. We need to focus on being, oh, sure thing, yep. Good to go. We know. Uh-oh. We back? Live television, my friends. All right. We know that there are going to be twists and turns this year, as we just saw. To be successful, we're going to need to be flexible, agile, and resilient. I'm reminded of a quote by Walt Disney. We keep moving forward, opening new doors, and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. My friends, I don't totally know what to expect this year, but I do know that if we are flexible, agile, and resilient, and if we approach our students and our work with curiosity, we can accomplish anything. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my friend and colleague, Dr. Rob Nye, to talk through the professional development opportunities for our certificated staff today.
Good morning, Carlsbad Unified, and welcome back. We're equally excited to welcome back our students this Tuesday, and we can't wait to see them as well. Carlsbad Unified and the Instructional Services Department has been working hard on a very valuable professional development day today, and we're excited to share that with you. It's centered around 3 themes: reconnecting, reflecting, and reimagining. You'll see today that there are a number of different breakout sessions specific to reconnecting with our students, reconnecting with our families, and reconnecting with your colleagues. Secondly, reflecting. We know that a number of our students are going to have academic gaps, as well as social emotional needs. So you'll see a number of different themes today in professional development around how do we address those needs. And lastly, reimagining. We know that a number of you did some very dynamic and innovative things to connect students last year. We want to take those silver linings and incorporate that into the 2021 school year. So the sessions are pretty self-explanatory. We did send out an example of the agenda today, and hopefully you got that this morning. We also sent that out earlier in the week. You'll see that there are 3 breakout sessions throughout the day, and for the most part you'll be able to choose from any session that interests you. The sessions are formatted in 3 distinct ways and 3 distinct modalities. Number 1, a live virtual setting. So you'll have a virtual presenter that you'll be able to interact with. Secondly, Alludo lessons. And the Alludo lessons are really at your own pace. You'll be able to rewind, fast forward, and work through content at your leisure. And then lastly, our discussion groups, where we paired you off with grade level teams as well as subject area teams to learn from your colleagues and talk through essential questions. Now, if you'll be able to see those join links on the agenda to the right of your agenda, and you can just join at the appropriate times. There are some assigned required breakout sessions, and you'll see those at the very top of your agenda. If for any reason you're not able to connect, we've also put at the very top of the agenda a help desk. If you click on that link, it will allow you to go directly to that help desk, and you'll get a live person from Instructional Services that will walk you through that. I want to leave you with a few closing thoughts, and that's number 1, it's critically important this year that we're meeting students where they are. I know this is always important, but as we mentioned before, we're going to have students that are coming in with significant learning gaps and significant mental health needs. One way that we do that is by progress monitoring. We need to know where they are academically. Now, teachers are really good at this already. You have your grades, you have your common assessments, but you have another tool in your toolbox this year that we implemented last year, and those are the STAR assessments. The STAR assessments are given in the fall, the winter, and the spring, and they measure student growth over time on specific standards in reading and in math. This is a great tool for you to use along with those grades and those common assessments to measure student growth over time. Secondly, academic supports. We've used a lot of our one-time dollars for academic support. So what do you do when we've identified those learning needs, and how do you connect them to academic resources? First and foremost, we've spent a lot of money on additional teachers into the classroom, additional sections to lower those class sizes, credit recovery sections at the high school level to make sure that kids are able to reach that finish line and graduate at the end of the year, as well as tutoring, which I'll talk about in a second. And lastly, a number of different online platforms that really engaged students last year, we've carried over to this year. We've listened to you on some of those that really had a great impact, and we've continued with those licenses into this year. Next is social emotional supports, and we know that that's going to be equally as critical. For the first time in 10 years, we've added elementary school counselors, which we're very excited about. We've beefed up our counseling support at the secondary level as well. We're going to continue with our social emotional learning lessons in grades K through 12. And those at the elementary school are done through Harmony. And at the secondary school, or secondary level, we used our counselors to develop that social emotional learning curriculum. So we think that all of those things will be great tools in your tool belt to assess students and get them where they need. As Dr. Churchill had mentioned, we need to remain flexible for all scenarios. We know that students will be out on quarantine. We know that we need to connect those students to resources and curriculum even while they're out on quarantine or sick. So to that end, we are stating that every teacher must maintain an active Google Classroom for the 2021-22 school year with active assignments, instructional materials in there, so that students, when they are out, have access to that curriculum and that support. Secondarily, we are also going to offer tutoring, live tutoring for students while they're out potentially sick or on quarantine. Principals will be offering the opportunity for teachers that are interested, that want to teach after school or before school, as well as during their prep periods, and be compensated instructional hourly to connect live with students and give them live support and have them work through curriculum. Lastly, the access to learning and access to instructional materials. For the past 2 years, we've worked with teachers in Carlsbad to produce a large repository of instructional materials and support that we are launching on our instructional hub page. So we'll send out the link to that where you can easily insert lessons, pacing guides, instructional materials that will help you build out that Google Classroom as we move forward. So, at this time, I'm going to turn it over again to watch a short video produced by Carlsbad, our award-winning Carlsbad High TV, titled Gratitude.
To go back to school because I get to meet new friends and I get to meet my new teacher. My favorite part about going to school is learning new things. What I love about my teacher is that she pushes us to improve in all of our subjects. During the summer, I miss my teacher and all of the staff. I'm looking forward to seeing the custodian because I really missed him. I also missed the principal because every time I walked past, he would always tell jokes. I appreciate everybody who works at my school because I love their company.
So the people who are working behind the scenes, like the cafeteria workers, the noon duties, they're really making a huge impact on us, and it's what makes our schools really great.
I want to give a big shout out to all the people that work at the Carlsbad schools because they have made it fun and more educational, and I just want to give my thanks. Thank you.
I've gone to Carlsbad schools for my whole life, and I know how hard every single person works to make our schools so great.
I'm truly grateful to all the COSD staff members because even throughout everything that's happened last year, they kept on going. They never stopped, and they truly made school a great place to be.
I think the most important thing about the staff members here at the school district is their hard work and their kindness. So they're always there for each other. They care about us. They're we're kind of like a family a little bit. They're a shoulder to lay onto when you're at your most vulnerable moments, and that's something I believe we should appreciate.
I agree. We're like a family, and it's something that we absolutely should appreciate. Again, this morning, I want to thank the students and staff at CHS TV. We did have a minor technical glitch earlier, but as Mr. Green reminded me, this is live TV, my friends. And as I was reminded, it wouldn't be a back-to-school kickoff without me having some sort of technical difficulty. Dr. Nye and I are energized, frankly, by our outstanding staff. And I hope you are too. We have a great personnel services department, and every year they recognize staff who have achieved certain milestones, 5-year service pins, 10-year service pins, 15-year service pins, etc. Our team will be distributing those in the coming weeks. Today I'd like to call attention to and recognize a number of staff members who have achieved specific milestones. So we're going to roll a video recognizing those people, and that'll end our broadcast for the morning. In closing, thank you all. I am so grateful to work in a district with amazing people. Have a great day. Congratulations. Welcome back.